Hi guys, I'm going to be demonstrating how to change the spin basket and then to replace the outer tub and the suspension and the rotor stator of this Whirlpool top-load capsule. But this is an older method. They do have a newer method, but today I'm going to show you an older method how to get this thing started. So first, you unplug the machine. It's already unplugged right now, the machine. And here is the plug. So first you open the lid and we're going to take a look at the inside of the lid here. I'm going to roll the camera in there. So first you will have to take one of this, a flathead screwdriver, pop this cap here, and that nut over here is actually a 11mm nut. So you're going to get one of these guys. Let me see if I can show it to you. It's going to say 11mm, and then we're going to take that nut off from the inside, and I'm going to put down the camera now. Let's see if you guys can see it inside here. So you would do it counterclockwise and then now you turn the drum, keep turning it to remove this nut that holds the wash plate together. So as you can see, if I spin the drum, it will sound like a freight train going by when you're going to a high-speed spin. So by moving this nut, you have to lift up the wash plate. So now you move the wash plate like this and you will expose the inner basket. So I'm going to show you another step now what we have to do. So we're going to go to the back of the machine, and I'm going to show you in a second here. We'll have to, what I normally do, I yank from the bottom of the machine, pull the machine out. So as you can see from the back of the machine, I'm going to show it to you. Several of the 5/16 screw you have to remove to be able to gain access, and there's one, and then there's two 5/16 screws here. Once you remove that screw, this is what you're gonna do after removing those screws. You have to come to the front here, and then you lift the lid, and then you slide forward and then push up, and then that will come that you can open up the lid here. So after you can open up the lid, as you can see here, and you're gonna have to have something to hold up this lid, or this what I would do is I will push the machine backward, rest this against the wall, just like this. So keep in mind, see the door will pop open on the lid. So I'm going to move this forward and move it towards me. I'm going to rest it just like that. But this lid seems to be quite heavy there. So we'll try to drop it off just like that for now. Okay. So we'll leave it just like that. As you can see, it's halfway hanging there. And then on this top ring here, you have to also, there's these tabs around the top ring that you have to stick this flathead screwdriver in there. And then you see, you popped, and then you pop them. So as you can see, as we go along, like these in the back, I'm going to use my hand. Okay. so let's bring you up to over here. Okay, let's get it this way. Here you have to remove the circulation hose. So I'm going to take this out. Boom. Get one of these regular pliers. Hit that recirculation hose. And then you will try to push that out. I normally do with a needle nose plier. You just walk them out like left, right. A little left, right there to push them out of there. This is having a hard time coming out. Okay. Okay, so let's do left, right. You pry, see? Now it'll start to come out. Okay, now when this comes out now, I lift the top ring. And that's how we move the top ring now. At this stage, you will go down there. This particular one, they don't have a lock shaft there. Some of them has a nut or a C-clamp, it depending the model. This particular one, it just lift right out, so it makes life a lot easier from Whirlpool. So let me just do this right now. Man, this thing's stuck, so okay, so this thing doesn't want to go, so we could do it another way. If you encounter something that sees like this, so over down here, we're gonna have to try to remove the screw around the shaft, and hopefully this will comes off easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. And some of them, when you do it like that, the drum will comes out easier. And again, always use power tool if you have to. You want to use some power tool that control the torque, because some of these you can over torque them. So now when this mechanism come loose, okay, and this one too. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they're pretty hard to come out. So this definitely don't want to come out in this one. Okay. So as this comes out now, let's see, Jesus. Okay, let me see if we can lift this up. 1, 2, right, okay. Okay, so this thing does not want to come out, so got a little stuck there. But don't worry, we're gonna skip this process right now. We're gonna go ahead and do something else at this stage. Then we're gonna come back to figure out how to get this out, because you might need to get an extra hand here. Keep in mind, this is normally you should be done by a 2 technician or 2-man job on this, because you know over time users they do get stuck. Oh, there's some of them that there's another method that sometimes you can do is get a 2x4, brush against the inner basket, and put a car jack right in the center, and then jack it up like you're jacking up a car. That will break that. But I don't have that tool with me today, so we're gonna leave this portion for now. We're gonna show you the rotor and stator in the bottom, and we'll go from there. And then we're gonna come back to get rid of this later. How to remove that. So we're gonna skip the step of removing the basket. I'm gonna jump it to the next phase first. What you want to do in the next phase is to put some towel in front of the machine, and then try not to scratch the front of the machine while you're doing this. So so you keep the front protected. And then you gotta make sure all your hoses, inlet hoses, are long enough, and make sure you take out the drain hose from the drain. What I normally do is I would tilt the machine, and I'll have the machine come forward, and I can go and access the component in the back. So you can see, you gotta make sure this is long enough. So what I do is, or you could disconnect the inlet hose, whatever way you want it. So to me, this is the easier way for me to do it. So I'm gonna leave it down just like this. And then now we'll go to the back of the bottom of the washing machine over here. I'm going to show you in a minute what you have in there. So this is the back of the washing machine, or actually underneath the washing machine will look like. This is the rotor, and there's a stator, and then this guy is the drain pump, and this is the recirculation pump. So this is what we have to do when you get down here. Yank the tab off these harness, and as you can see, and then you need something like an Allen key here to get it in here to remove the rotor. So okay. Oh, this one is kind of hard to do. Okay, got a little stuck in there, this guy. Let me see. We'll probably just do the other one first. Well, first, let's get this on, and then we're gonna. These are all 5/16 screws. So let's get the easy one off. Each pump has 3 screws. It's all held by 5/16, and we're gonna get back to that very soon. Got 6 of the 5/16 screw removed. We want to put them on the side, and then there's a couple of the 5/16 screw. Usually what they want you to do is they want you to take the back cover off. It makes it easier so you can access. I'm not sure, let me see if I can point out on this camera here. There is that all the way in here. Let me show you right in this spot here. That's the 5/16, so I normally have a tool like this, and I can be able to remove that 5/16 screw that holds the circulation hose together. There's one over here, and then there's 2 5/16 screws on the left side. So you see, this tool I'm able to work in one hand, take this off, and now over here has another one that holds the, you see on that corner right there? That's to hold the pressure hose together. So now we're gonna try to remove that one as well. So I'm gonna, hopefully I can get my camera in there so you can see it. Okay, so this one is right here. This you can get the same tool that I use, and you put a 5/16 head in there. Right here. Another reason I prefer it this way is because you get a lot of room to work on the machine. To flip the machine down, and then you will have to pull off this pressure hose. Okay, and then you have to take this and this clamp off to get the pump off. Now we're going to focus on how to remove the rotor and stator. Now we're going to do that right after. So okay, let's focus back onto the rotor stator. Let me figure out how they're going to get that. I think it's so tight in here. I'm I'm going to use an impact drill and see if we can get this out. Wow. This is not coming, so let me use a ratchet on this here. See how I can get this out here. In this case, I want to jam something into. Let me see if we can jam something into this guy here. Yeah, we'll jam something in between it. So if you're working alone, you might have to jam something into one of these holes so that it does not move while you're trying to turn this guy. So, see? It finally come loose now. As you can see. This time I'm going to put the impact gun in there. We're going to speed up the process. Okay. Then you will have to pull by both hands together because the magnetism is very strong. So there you have it. That's how you remove the rotor. Now here come the stators now. The stator, they're held by 4, I think 10mm bolt as well. So we're gonna use the impact gun, and this is 10mm. So we're changing the rotor. So make sure you keep that 4 screw. And this plate here, this one of these plates. There's one of these plate on each side, and just be very careful when you take out the rotors, the stators. You see, here is the wire harness. This guy, you actually have to pop it by this little tab here, like that. These we have to be reusing, so don't try not to break those. And this is the other side that you have to take this plate off, because the newer rotor stator does not come with this, so these has to get reused on the newer one. And then remove this guy, and then at this stage now, after removing the rotor stators, we're gonna go up and take care of the pump now. So and also these cardboard, the extra plate, you have to reuse it on the newer tub. So you have to yank this out, and then we're going to push the machine back up now. And then we're going to try to figure out how to take off the drum, or we have to take the drum out without, you know, removing the basket. So here we go, we got 1 extra set of hand. So now we're going to go 1, 2. Okay, see, with 1 extra set of hand, basket comes out easy. So after you remove this basket, what we have to do is, you see that filter over there has 2 1/4-inch screws. So we're gonna have to remove that. That's the filter to the drain. So let me get the thing in.
All right, we're removing.
Okay, so let's get that done. Remember, always use power tool, something that has a magnetic tip.
Alright, the screws are being removed.
So now we're gonna have to remove this 4 suspension shaft that is holding this drum in place, because we're getting them all brand new. They're all rusted out. So
first we're gonna clean this away a little bit.
okay, so normally what we do is let's get a towel and grab that center drum. The plastic bag here. Okay. We'll just pop the clip down here. It's easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so lift
And out.
got it.
I'm going to leave now.
Okay.
Okay.
Lift.
Excellent. And we successfully removed
So
the outer top.
So now we just left with the frame and all the wire harness in the bottom, circulation pump on that side. As you can see.
And the drain pump
And
on
the
the opposite.
So if you're looking at this here, this is the culprit. The shaft here is the bearing. It comes with the whole outer top. So they have another fix is where you could just change out this center shaft right now from Whirlpool. You don't have to do. You still have to do majority of what we do here, but you could actually have the drum stays inside and have that changed. So we'll talk about that in the next video. But now we're gonna go ahead and bring in the new part, and we're gonna assemble a new machine here. So now this is the suspension rod time now. So we're gonna have to remove all these old tabs here, because the new suspension comes with all these newer pieces that they want you to use now. So you just want to get rid of all these old parts from the old suspension.
I'll get the rods and fix it with the
So new suspension comes with 4 new rods and all these old pieces. No, we'll wait. We'll do it the other way around. We're gonna do it the other way.
no, just leave it here.
Yeah, just leave it for now. We'll do the easier way.
Sure.
Those. You want to hook up the suspension rod from under and up. Okay, locked and done in place. So keep in mind this size right over here. Yeah, you want to help me hold the camera there real quick? So yeah, I want to face this direction.
Okay.
So hold on, you gotta go up a little bit. Okay, see, right here, you actually have to clip the suspension rod into this guy, and then go up this way. Make that little drain hose a little bit. Get that in there. Lock it in place. The reason I do that, later on the drain hose has to wrap around the suspension rod, and then later when you bring the drum in, it just sits right into place. So just angle everything together.
Either way.
And then just remove that little wire. Just be careful of that little wire. Now we're gonna drop in the drum now. Okay. So now we move the rod a little bit forward. It sits right in.
Okay. Up and down.
Hold on, let me get mine into place here.
Okay.
Oops.
Almost.
Hopefully I can drop yours up now. And the rod. Take the rod. Alright.
Yes. Suspensions are locked in.
Okay. And now we're gonna put back that filter.
Yes, indeed.
We're gonna put the filter back in there. This is where the circulation pump on that side and then the drain pump on. So put this back in
Let me
there.
try to clean it.
Let's clean that off a little bit.
That's fine. Good.
So now you put this back in there.
You got to very simple, just match the holes.
And then the two 5/16 screw.
There, over the paperwork.
Yep, right here.
Okay,
So,
of course, magnetic tool.
always use a magnetic tip on it because you see, the thumb is deep. Okay, we're good.
Make sure we don't strip any screws.
Yep, make sure
That
those.
can create a problem later.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now we're gonna close back the lid now, and then we're gonna start putting on the new rotor stators. Cause right now we're not gonna put in back the inner basket. It makes the weight too heavy. So remember again with the towel, you want to keep the machine protected.
We do not want to see any scratches or damages for our unit.
So we need to walk back a little bit. Go down. Kick the towel in. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're gonna get to the back of the machine. I'm gonna turn the machine around a little bit. So we're back down at the bottom. So now you want to get these things back in here. Okay. So remember those 5/16, and I remember I did mention about these, got to go back to it. Okay, get the 5/16 screw. I'll probably turn the torque to number 8 for this for now. I told majority of the technician would throw these paper plate or these paper thing away because they think it's not necessary. But it is true that you could don't have it on there. But if you can't salvage them and have it in there, okay, so back to where it was. So we're gonna get this back in there. Slide these back in. And this is another paper over here.
Okay. Basket will go out. So we do That's call tomorrow, last call.
Yeah, last
What
call.
time is the meeting finishing, more or less?
I think most likely by 2 o'clock.
Super good.
So we're hooking up the drain pump, so let's take this off a little bit so it makes it a lot easier. I should have did this portion first. So now it makes it a lot easier. See, in this scenario, you get this in. Actually, I used the wrong screw on the recirculation pump. That was my mistake. I should be using these screws instead of those for the other screw. It's my mistake over there. So let's correct my mistake. And then we're gonna put this cover back in here. And remember what I say about the rotor stators. You have to put back this metal plate into the rotor stator here. Make sure the harness here. So there's a little arrow here. I'm not sure you see. This is where you want to have the camera back. So we want to make sure the arrow is where the sensor is going to sit in. So let's put it this way. There's a little arrow. This is where the sensor is going to go. Okay, so let's do it this way. See, if the camera's not on my way, normally this would be a lot easier. Get right into place. Now you turn it around. Right in here. And then put this cover right back in. Again, you use a 10mm impact gun. Just lock one
Across.
And this is the new rotor. It's not in the right groove.
The screw up. Tied it very nicely.
Yep.
When the time has come.
It's not in, so why is this not in here?
I will take the screw off if you can.
Okay, so make sure the screws are lining up. Okay, now it looks like it's in now.
Should go a little more to catch on the.
Yeah, this is good now. Let's see.
Perfect. Perfect.
Just double lock it one last time with a hand on this. Okay, this is where we tight now.
Alright.
Okay, and then we have two more 5/16 screw, and it's very important now that you goes in here, hook back up the pressure sensor, and then we're gonna make sure the hose where the thing is gonna get aligned. So once that's done, we're gonna push back the machine and we're ready to drop the new basket in there. And this is basically almost all done now. At this stage, you're about 70% completion of the repair. Like I said, this is not the ultimate method of repairing this. Many technicians or many people has a different way. This is just to demonstration purposes, so we're doing it this way. So you know, there is another method, of plenty another method of doing it. So I'm not saying my way is the ultimate way. This is just like a quick reference guide for you guys that who's new in the field and encounter these older style machine. So you just take it as a learning experience. You know, don't take this as a gospel Bible or whatnot, because you know, as you go along, you will find maybe even more easier way than this and doing it than the method I show you right now today.
Also, the way the machine is set up, the conditions of work, the space could be limited.
Yes.
You may have to find different ways.
Yeah. So if there's a limited space, this way will not work. Because right now we have a huge space to work, so we have actually done these things where there's barely any space, and we have to use a totally different method. But like I say, because this has a lot of space and we have the time, so we can make this video just to show you guys. This is the general idea of what needs to be done to get this machine up going. So we're gonna try to push this back machine now. So we're gonna go to the next step. So now we're gonna drop the new in the stainless steel basket on that corner right there to try to complete this repair.
Center, align. Perfect.
Okay. So once it's aligned, it goes in perfect right here. So now we're gonna drop in the new wash plate.
Don't film it. Only at the end.
No, it's okay. So we're gonna put the wash plate back in there, and we're gonna tighten that bolt down there. That's 11mm nut. Okay. So that's it. We'll put back the cap. Okay, now we're going to put back the upper top ring.
Now,
So we just got to make sure the top ring goes on the outer skirt of the tab. And you should hear those clicking sounds that to tell you that they're back in place. Okay, and then the important is to hook back that circulation hose, otherwise you will have a tremendous leak when the machine is back on.
drain pumps are already hooked under the machine.
Everything is hooked up. So now we're going to bring back down the lid. And again, this lid you have to slide forward, trying to lock in place and slide back. Oh, you got it, just like that. Again, the 2/4 inch screw in the back that locks the machine in place. This guy.
Yes, it is.
Yep. So we're gonna go to the back of the machine to show you guys. Now that my partner's in here, let me take the camera off. So as the drums start to filling up, you start cleaning up the place, your work area, pack your tools, and make sure you got everything you need. And then make sure the most important is make sure the machine is not leaking. everything can go on the side. If your machine starts to leak, you just fail this repair. So the most important is make sure the machine is not leaking and is spinning with the sound it's supposed to be. So
Uniform drive motion with the soft sound of the bearing.
So as you guys seen the diagnostic test here, me and my partner is actually cleaning up our workplace before we even get out of here. So to make sure that this workplace is nice and clean and you look professional. Meanwhile, you have to sit out there for this diagnostic test to fill in if needed. During the diagnostic test on this machine here, you're allowed to open the lid and watch the operation of the unit as it goes.
Model and serial number should be taken at all times. My camera got a little blurry from the steam.
So let me show you the lid now. Now it's on C01. So it's gonna go C02, mean it's on the test function number 2. And the cold water is actually turned off here, see? So make sure we turn back on the cold water. Hot water turned back on. This is a low water wash machine. So that's that circulation pump we talked about earlier. If you got it disconnected, you will have a massive leak right now. And while the time the machine is filling, me and my partner is cleaning up the workspace and checking on the floor, see if there's any water come out of the bottom. So you always double check your own work here. So this is near finish of the diagnostic test cycle, and you can see it draining out all the water as we go along. This is on test phase number 8 again. This is the sound of all water being drained out now. Okay, so this is the whole entire process, and thanks for watching. Hope this video served its purpose, and thanks for watching.